Jürgen Habermas' three normative models of democracy. Jürgen Habermas is a highly influential German philosopher and sociologist, known for his works in the areas of communication theory, ethics, and for this particular lecture, democracy. Born on June the 18th, 1929, in Dusseldorf in Germany, Habermas is associated with the second generation of the Frankfurt School, a group of scholars known for their critical theory that seeks to diagnose and address problems of modernity or modern society. Now, Jürgen Habermas's contributions span across several areas, but he is particularly renowned for his theories on communicative action and the public sphere. His theory of communicative action posits that human action and interaction are fundamentally based on mutual understanding and that communication is at the heart of societal life. So this theory challenges instrumental and strategic models of human action, emphasizing instead the importance of dialogue, consensus, and rational discourse in social life. Now, throughout Jürgen Habermas's career, he also engaged with issues of modernity, rationality, democracy, and the role of law in society. He has been a vocal critic of postmodernism, certainly, and a defender of Enlightenment ideals of reason, autonomy, and emancipation. Habermas advocates for a deliberative democracy, which we'll see the nuances in the democratic norms, where citizens actively participate in the democratic process through reasoned debate and discussion. The model of deliberative democracy emphasizes the role of reasoned argument, dialogue, and consensus in the democratic process. It argues that for a decision to be legitimate, it must be preceded by authentic deliberation, not merely the aggregation of preferences. This model, strongly associated with Jürgen Habermas, prioritizes the quality of discussion and insists that through rational discourse, participants can reach a consensus that reflects the common good rather than individual or factional interests. Deliberative democracy is often seen as an ideal to strive for, encouraging transparency, inclusiveness, and rational debate in political decision making. How about participatory democracy? Here the focus is on broadening the participation of citizens in the political process beyond just voting in elections. So this model, participatory democracy, advocates for direct participation of citizens in decision-making processes and oftentimes in policy formulation. It emphasizes the importance of empowering individuals and communities to take part in the governance that ultimately affects them directly. Participatory democracy can manifest in various forms, including, for example, town hall meetings, getting involved in participatory budgeting, and these days also the use of digital platforms to involve citizens in governmental decisions. The underlying belief here is that the increased participation leads to more buy-in or more democratic legitimacy and hopefully better outcomes as decisions are made with direct input from those affected. So, in summary, each of these models offers different perspectives on how democracy should be practiced to ensure fairness, efficiency, and legitimacy. They, they also highlight various challenges and trade offs, such as the tension between inclusivity and practicality, or between the direct participation and the need for expert decision making. However, in reality, contemporary democracies often incorporate elements of all three models, seeking to seeking a balance that fits their specific historical, cultural, and societal context. Each of these models offers different perspectives on how democracy should be practiced to ensure fairness and efficiency and legitimacy. They also highlight various challenges and trade-offs, such as the tension between inclusivity and practicality, or between direct participation and the need for expert decision making. Um, Let me see. In reality, though, well, like I mentioned, they incorporate all three of these aspects of all three of these components of democracy highlighted. But how about Jürgen Habermas's three normative models of democracy? So Habermas's contributions to democratic theory primarily resonate with the deliberative mode of democracy as highlighted earlier. Although his work provides insights that intersect with aspects of participatory and representative democracy. So, using a bit of all of them, but focusing on the deliberative component. His emphasis on the importance of rational discourse involved in public sphere and communicative action offers a rich framework for understanding and evaluating democratic processes. So let's look at them again and see how Habermas looks at these. So the first then would be the deliberative democratic process. Habermas is most closely associated with this particular deliberative component or deliberative democracy. He argues that democracy's legitimacy comes from the quality of the public discourse preceding political decisions. For Habermas, the ideal democratic process is not just about voting or aggregating preferences, it's about the collective deliberation of free and equal citizens. In this particular model, the public sphere plays a crucial role as the arena where citizens deliberate on public issues, engage in reasoned argument, and strive for consensus or at least mutual understanding. Habermas believes that through this process, the force of the better argument prevails, leading to decisions that reflect the common good. His work on communicative action and the theory of the public sphere provides a theoretical foundation for understanding how such a process can be realized. How about participatory democracy? While Habermas, as mentioned, he uses components of these two, while Habermas is not primarily known for advocating participatory democracy, his emphasis on the active engagement of citizens in the public sphere and the importance of public opinion formation echoes some of the model's key principles. Habermas argues for a vibrant civil society where individuals participate in various public discussions, contributing to the overall democratic deliberation or the deliberation process as such. His theory suggests that democracy that for democracy to be fully realized, it must extend beyond formal institutions and engage citizens in ongoing public discourse, thus resonating with participatory democracy's emphasis on direct involvement in democratic governance. Then his take on representative democracy. Habermas's framework that he ultimately posits also intersects with representative democracy, particularly in his later work on the constitutional state and the concept of deliberative politics. He certainly acknowledges the practical necessity of representative structures in modern complex societies. However, Habermas envisions a role for representatives that goes beyond merely making decisions on behalf of the electorate. He sees them as participants in the broader deliberative process that is rooted in and responsive to the public sphere. This vision that he has incorporates a feedback loop where public discourse influences decision makers and decision makers engage with the public discourse, ensuring that representative democracy remains closely connected to the deliberative ideals of transparency, reasonableness, and of course, accountability. So how about the synergy of these three for Habermas? So Habermas's theory of democracy is complex and multifaceted, incorporating elements of deliberative, participatory, and representative models with a comprehensive framework that emphasizes communication, rationality, and inclusiveness. His work challenges us to think deeply about the meaning of democratic participation and the conditions necessary for a truly democratic society. I hope that helps.